any questions from anyone or comments, things?
We can blur out the solution part in the video.
All right.
Oh, it should be mentioned that for the leaderboard will be scoring based on number of guesses that your algorithm took, as well as
Right.
runtime. So those are the two criterias that we're
Yeah,
scoring.
so down here, I'm running 5 games, and my average guesses is 4.8 guesses per game, and the average runtime for each guess is also printed out. And it's all here. You don't have to change any of this, and you can just run it. Also, to participate, as I said before, you can download this version of the code, which we will pass on to Albert. And you can download it, work on your own Jupyter, work on your own copy of the Jupyter notebook. And then once you get this printout, here, you can fill out this form, which we will also, okay, ideally, this would be like a lead code leaderboard thing where you just click submit and it will show you where you are. But we don't have that implemented, so we can use this Google form for now, where you'll just put in who you are, if you worked with anyone, and then like number of wins in 10 games. So you can change this to say 10. How many of the games you win, what are the number of guesses you took, your runtime, and you can also upload a copy of your Python notebook.
And just about Google Colab, I don't know if many people here will actually have Jupyter installed on their system. So It might be better for them to just do it directly in Colab. I think you can do like save as a copy or something.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can open a new Colab for yourself, and you can, you can either save as a copy or you can download and re-upload. I'm not sure where save a copy in Drive. That will put it in your own Google Drive. And basically fill out this. And if you have any comments for us, please, we'd be happy to hear your comments and feedback. And click submit. And then Isaac and I will review the forms like every day as they come in, and we will update the leaderboard accordingly. We'll try to give you a quick, like a good frequency, but we'll try to do it like every night or every 2 nights or so. And the winners. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. You can submit multiple times, and we will just do like your best one. Yeah. Okay. I think that's everything. So also we're available to take questions on Discord at any time. If you're working through it, you get stuck, let us know. If you want a refresher on the concepts, that's okay too. There's also a lot of places online. You can just search up mastermind algorithm 5 guesses, and you'll get a lot of resources as well.
Mm-hmm. And there's probably like full YouTube tutorials about exactly how to implement this. So
use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also so regarding the Discord, we'll be creating a channel in the Discord just specifically for this mastermind. So you can ask your questions to Jullian and Isaac. And yeah, and also in case there are, I know some students here are more familiar with other languages like Java or perhaps C++ rather than Python. We also have our introduction to Python slides in our Google Classroom along with videos. So in case you want like a really quick crash course on Python to do the Google Colab, then you could take a look at that too. And also we're gonna be posting the recording of this session, the slides that Jullian and Isaac just went through, and the Google Forms and the Colab link to our Google Classroom. So you guys can start from there.
Awesome. Thanks, Albert.
Thanks, Albert.
Thanks, guys. I guess you can give like a couple more seconds for questions. In case
Yeah.
some last minute thing.
I wasn't checking the chat throughout the whole thing. I didn't realize people.
Okay, it doesn't look like. Oh wait, Isaac, can you show your cat again? I want to see it.
Oh yeah, he's I'm not 100% sure where he's ran off to. But,
You can
he
follow
kept-
Isaac's cat on Instagram.
Oh yeah, you guys can. I can share that in Discord. He's it's only 5 months. Say hi. It's all. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You can go now.
Yeah, and if you all have questions about university too, about Waterloo specifically, you can also shoot that along and we'll get to your questions.
Yes.
And connect with
yeah.
us on LinkedIn if you have LinkedIn.
If you guys want to pop your LinkedIn's down below, that works too. I don't know. I don't think most people here have LinkedIn now, but it is okay. Yeah. All right. I think we're good for today. We're also nearing our usual limit. Or I have a question.
Right.
Oh, we got a question. Oh, okay. Well, that's not a question about the challenge.
That's not necessarily true though.
Yeah, it's not necessarily true. It's just unlikely.
Depends on the program too, right?
Oh yeah, the male to female ratio in certain programs are higher. So if that is
Ours
your
is
goal,
very
then,
low.
right? If that is your
If
goal,
you're-
you should join system
Biomed
design, chem, or
engineering.
soft, or biomed.
Yeah, I think biomed is 50%. And I think for mechatronics where we were, it's okay. This won't be in the YouTube. This won't be in the YouTube
Yeah,
video.
don't
But for and also I got a question about averages for 4U. You know, for that it's really a toss up because a lot of people I think score really high coming in with their 4U courses, but the handful that basically just had a good AIF and had like high 80s and they still got in. Of course that's speaking just to our cohort, which could be very different now because I know it gets harder every year. But for us, I think on average people came in with like 92 to 95 and 92. I think with a 92, you're good for grades. Focus on your AIF. Yeah, above 90, and then focus on your AIF.
Yeah, I think that things might have changed since then, especially right now, inflations and COVID.
Yeah, with COVID and all, I really don't know, but that's what it was for us.
Wait, Isaac, I think you're, or never mind.
Oh, am I muted?
Yeah,
Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, the question about Waterloo campus. They have a lot of cool new buildings that they built in recent years, and all that. But as a first year, you're probably not going to use any of them. They're probably going to put you in like the big old concrete ones underground. So just prepare for that.
Yeah,
but
and
eventually you'll
in 1A, we were all like, we did basically all our classes in this room called RCH 105, and it's underground, no windows. And yeah, and in Waterloo, I'm not sure if it's true for other universities, but for engineering, usually you don't rotate out of your classroom. The prof rotates out of their classroom for the first couple few years, and then to have a wider range of electives, you start to be the one who would have to walk across campus. Yeah.
Contests, how contests affect your admission. Do you mean like math contests? If you're referring to like Euclid or whatever, I would say that it affects if it's really good. But in any other case, it won't. Like I remember doing Euclid in when I was at PET, and I think I did it until like the fifth question, and I gave up and left. Um, and uh, and that I don't think that had any effect. But like if you do really good, they'll like invite you to like the math faculty. I had a friend that did like really good, and they invited him for like a tour of the math faculty or something. Um, but yeah, so like that.
Would you get screwed if you don't coder and you're going into mechanical or mechatronics? So mechanical, I'm not sure because we didn't experience it. In mechatronics, no, not at all. Like I knew close to zero programming coming out of high school. I didn't take CS. Definitely not in the CS club. I was more of a woodshop guy going into university, but everyone would everyone everyone's going to be on the same page pretty quickly. After 1A, you take this course, Intro to C++ in mechatronics engineering, and they go pretty in depth. And after the first semester, you're all going to be at about the same place. And then it's just a matter of, at that point, who is more willing to, take time out of their own day to look through other resources, to learn other languages, because you won't survive as a software engineer if you only know what is taught in class. But it gives you a good basis, and they assume you know nothing, which is good because I did know nothing. And at the pace they were going at, it's like you can definitely follow even if you didn't know anything. But after that, you can't just have C++ on your resume and land like internships. Well, you can. It will be hard. So it's then up to you to learn frameworks, learn new tools, do some projects outside of class, have a good resume, contact a lot of people, and that's where. And really, on the job is where you become a good programmer, because class takes you so far, but on the job you'll face the realities of different things like version control, if you haven't had that and touched upon that, or like working in teams and understanding architecture. So on the job is where you really improve.
Yeah, I think it should also be clarified that Julian is 100% correct on that. Like, all the other skills is what makes you a good engineer eventually. But it should also be said that they will test you on none of that in interviews. Most of the time, they will just ask you programming questions.
Mm-hmm.
So lead code early and lead code often, and and you can work at whatever big tech company you want.
honestly, like at some point, grades don't matter anymore, and what really matters is your ability to get to the interview table by hook or by crook. If you are able to get in front of an interviewer, all that's left is your lead code knowledge. And if you have good lead code knowledge, you can get any job you want. Like we have classmates who would struggle through university and focus on lead code. Somehow, by some like stroke of miracle or by some glitch, would get to an interview with, say, like Citadel, and they would ace the interview with lead code, and that's it. They're now getting paid a lot of money. But yeah, so that's getting in, but then working at the job is a different question. That's when you really have to know what you're
There's
doing.
a pretty big disconnect from like interview skills and on the job skills.
Yeah. CS workload. Workload, how many hours per day? Okay, like in 1A, yeah.
I want to make sure that we're not going super overtime. Is this still fine, Albert?
Yeah, that's fine. You can go up to like 4:45 should be fine. People are still
Okay.
no, looks like they want to
Well,
listen.
we'll have like, we'll answer them like shorter, I guess. Shorter answers. So workload, it's actually 1A was, for us 1A was bad, I would say. You get a lot of assignments and a lot of projects. But it's not too bad. Like you can still sleep at like 11 every day, and that's still fine. Like, and you can still get your 8 hours of sleep. You just have to manage your time well. And
okay, Jullian, flex.
At times, you have to understand that you're no longer in high school, and your average will not be 100%. So there are times when we would have like 5 big projects on the plate at the same time. And then the new challenge is not to score high. The new challenge is to hedge your average and understand how, like, look at the rubric, see how much you need to do, 80-20 rule, like how much you need to do for each one, and move on. Like, just don't look at it, like just move on and do your other assignments. Because if you try to be a perfectionist, you'll fall behind and it will hurt your grades even more.
Yeah, and keep track. Like, don't do everything isolated. Work in a group with a bunch of people in your class and keep track of the understanding of, like, the general understanding that the class is at, because everything is marked based on like average understanding of the class. Like, as long as you're above that bar of how well people understand stuff in class on average, you'll do well on exams.
Okay, next, how important is the AIF? Very, very important compared to your marks. It's still very, very important. Reach the threshold and focus on your AIF. As in, if you know, what's your favorite high school course? Oh, Baker Physics. Baker Physics was my favorite high school course.
Baker Physics. I remember one time he brought us out into the snow to push someone on a sled down the hill and then time it, and then see if like gravitational potential energy calculating velocity at the end of the hill is correct. That was pretty fun.
Tips for time management. I think for me, I would say just focus on what works for you. Like, in terms of studying, like what works for you? Is it doing problem sets? Is it reading through the notes again? Like for me, I'm very big on understanding the concept and just like winging it in terms of questions on the exam. Like, so for me, I would focus my time on reading the concepts again through, and I would spend less time on problem sets. Other people would be very comfortable after doing a bunch of problem sets, so you spend less time on reading through. Don't try to do everything, and I think that will help you manage. You learn about yourself first, like what works for you, and just focus on the things that work for you. If it doesn't work for you, then just throw it away. Yeah, I think that would be what I would say to that.
Programming things you can do for AIF. I don't think I had anything programming related on my AIF. Jullian, did you?
So I took grade 11 co-op, like grade 11, yeah. I took the co-op course. And at the co-op course, I did what I knew about programming. At co-op, I programmed like an Arduino to move like motors, and you just present that in the best way possible. Like I was working at a company called Crosswing, and they were taking high school co-ops, and yeah, I basically just present. Try not on your AIF. You got to catch the eye of the reader, right? Because it's not a parsing program that would go through your AIF. Someone's reading it. So you don't want to go into like technical detail. Oh, I use this library in C++ and I multi-threaded or whatever. Like that's too much for that. Just say what you did. Like for me, I made a robot that that helps to bake funnel cakes, or what little help I did in making that. So that's what would stand out, I think.
Some of the stuff that I put on AF, non-programming related, I think it's important on the like my AF was pretty diverse. I did a lot of music in high school. I feel like more than half of all the students at PET do music. Like it's huge, or even more than that. But I did a lot of music in high school, so I put a lot of that in, and a lot of like I think there was like a science tutoring club or something. And I also had some. Am I muted? Oh,
No, you're not.
Is it ISI?
I don't remember. But I remember at the time it was still yeah, it was like the ratio between tutors and people that would come to get tutored is like really off. So you have like one student. But it doesn't matter because you can still put it on your AIF. And yeah, so it was pretty diverse. I didn't not all of it was STEM related. I think they just want to see that like you do stuff outside of school.
Exactly.
Like schoolwork. Yeah.
I would say what's most important is to put stuff that you actually spent time on, and that, for example, if you just signed up for SRA, say, or Octagon, but you didn't do anything, you don't have to write about that, and don't put it on. Just pick like three, like 2 to 4 like main involvements that you're a part of, that you actually did stuff on, because that substance will show. Like if you just signed up for a club and you didn't do anything worthwhile, it will sound like that on your AIF. So make sure that you pick ones that you've actually done stuff on, substantial work in, and spent time on, and write well. Like the English is important. Make sure you get it peer edited. You get people to read it before submitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, what Julian said is totally right. But also that being said, don't be humble on your AF, much like how you shouldn't be humble on your resume. Like, don't lie, but like don't be humble about it. Like, represent your like show your accomplishments outside of your usual coursework in like the best light possible. That doesn't cross the line of lying.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't do sports at all. Julian, did you?
But yeah, I think it helps, if you, especially if you, it just shows that you're, a multidimensional individual, and there's more to you than just your grades. So it's good. Put it on.
Yep. Okay, I think that's
everything.
That's all. Yeah, 45.
Yeah, you can always reach us on Discord afterwards.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jullian and Isaac. It's been really cool.